female in yoga world. So it talks about when you have something traumatic happen to the brain on the left side, it really affects your personality much more than if it happens on the right side. So I think it's really interesting when you start to, what I do, I contemplated it and I meditated about it. And if you guys remember, I've got that lesion on my brain and I just can't friggin' remember what side it's on. It's probably right in the damn middle, but I have to go back and look because I'm really interested to see if it goes in line with what this book says. So I'm going to use my own world as a case study as I get deeper into the book. So anyway, the first story is about a man who had something happen on his brain, and I can't remember which side, which isn't good. But basically, he started to think like a computer because his judgment left, and he only saw things as symmetrical shapes. So it was a hat, and it kind of, you know, resembled a head. And so he actually reached for, he saw his wife's head resembled a hat. So he reached for his wife's head and tried to put it on his own head as a hat. But the hat was right next to her because he started to, just like a computer, grasp at what it sees as factual because the judgment piece is empty. So having judgment is actually, it's really amazing, and it's very unique for every single person, especially as you go through a life or a practice or a critical time that we are in right now. It's all about your perspective. Right? So let's see where that takes us today for that fun trip. So we're going to start in Sukhasana, or crisscross position. So go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seat wherever you are. I'm not hooking up the microphone. I don't feel like dealing with that today just yet. So go ahead and settle into your seat. Let your shoulders roll down and back towards your hips. And just see where you are with your breath. Just land with it. And we're going to also start this practice immediately with the first 3 things that come to mind that you are grateful for. The very first 3 things, creating your own very unique experience for the beginning of this practice today. And then after you've found and identified those 3 things, notice that there are places in the body that need attention, or places in the body that need to just let go. And just follow that winding road to wherever it is in the body. What can you do to just soften? Soften around your breath, soften around your physical body, your emotional body. And then gently bring the awareness to the front of the face. Notice the shape in which your face is being held. And then gently open your eyes. Good. Okay, we're going to come into that 90-90 seat. So take your legs over to the right. So you're going to have your right leg 90 degrees out from the right hip, left shin in the front. And just bring the left hand over by the left hip onto the ground. And then bring the right hand right on top of the right hip. I hope you guys can see me well. I think so. And then notice how that right hip wants to lift up and away from you, all right? But what we're seeking is an internal rotation of the right hip to see if the right hip can come slightly more towards the ground. And just stay here for a few breaths. Close your eyes. And again, go back to revisiting the shape of your face. The shape of your face, the expression of your face. And allow it to soften as you allow that hip to soften towards the mat on the right side. And then once you start to feel that immediate attention-grabbing hip position start to fade. See if you can lengthen through the spine and walk both hands over to the left. And you'll notice that that right hip immediately wants to hike up. See if you can kind of just gently say, it's all right, slow down, relax. And then walk your hands out and away from the left hip. Maybe bring both elbows to the ground, just go wherever you need to be and just stay here for a few breaths. Just get soft through that right hip, relax through the right glute. And just slowly become more aware of your physical body. And then I'd like you to gently start to pull the spine towards the top of that mat, creating just a little bit of sensation or rotation of awareness in the body. And then maybe the body allows you to extend the arms straight and come down with the forehead to the ground. And I want you to reach out with the arms so much that the sides of the body begin to stretch. So we have areas to stay here and stay soft, or give attention, or let go, right? Just kind of put the shoe on that fits. But I'd like you to start to feel these body parts of areas or body areas that we tend to hold or morph into tension, especially around the hips and the lower back, which can be a physical sensation, or places that which we hold these hardened spots that are due to the past experiences or our tendencies, and just see if you can soften whatever it is, soften it. And we're going to stay here for 3 more soft breaths. And then begin to lift up the head, lift up the heart, bend the elbows, pull the chest slightly forward to feel the ribs awaken, and then walk the hands back towards the left hip. I want you to bring the left heel close to the right inner groin, and then place the right heel in front of the left ankle. And then again, get really easy with the right hip, settle to the ground. So again, the right hip's going to want to lift high so that your spine stays straight. I want you to gently release the glute. Hold on to the knee with both hands. And then just lengthen the spine. Soften through the shoulders. And just take a few breaths here. Nice and gentle. Just be aware in the back, the hips, the body. Need that gentle caress with the breath. 3 more breaths. Eyes can close or stay open, whatever feels welcoming. Holding a seat of gratitude again. This overwhelming feeling of gratitude. Whatever comes up. Don't go digging for it. Just see what naturally comes, intuitively comes. That spark of judgment. And then when you're released with those few 3 breaths, take the left elbow around the right knee. Bring the right hand behind your right glute. Stay hip heavy and turn the body towards the side. Stay there before you start cranking open too much. And just allow the mid-spine to catch up. Allow the mid-spine to catch up to free the hips and the lower back. And as the body begins to feel more open, more hydrated through the spine, maybe your chin turns to the right shoulder. Stay heavy through both hips or both glutes still. Don't hold on for dear life to the right knee, just enough. Enough to welcome the left chest towards the right inner thigh. Try not to grasp the left fingers like a fist, just stay soft and neutral. Good. And then gently come back to the front. Bring the right sole of your foot to meet the left sole of your foot. And sit up nice and tall. Take 3 breaths here. Eyes can close. Just settling. Good. And then go ahead and switch sides. We're going to bring both legs to the left. So the right shin is in front, the left shin is over to the side. You're going to find that nice seated position, and I want you to notice immediately how The left hip grabs your attention. And you kind of feel yourself maybe swiveling a little bit through the spine. And then just gently allow it to relax. Just get heavy through the left hip. Yeah. Relax the left glute. Good. Once you feel that it has responded to the brain connecting to the hip, then bring both of your hands to the right. Encourage that left hip to stay easy. Relax the left foot. Then walk the hands out. Maybe the elbows come down. Again, you can modify so much here. And just pause again. Pause again to just kind of take your time, walking up the mid-spine. Forearms on the ground to help support the upper body. Notice your fingers if they're relaxed or if they're gripping. If you're overextending, or if you can just stay happy with where you are for a moment, without expectation. And then once you feel, especially through the right shoulder softening, maybe the arms extend out ahead of you, or ahead of the back of the mat. Maybe the forehead comes down. You can turn your cheek, just do again what's intuitive. Beginning to gather information about your body today, uniquely to yourself, about your experience, about your breath. Coming into those emotions that make us human. The ability to switch because something has sparked inside of you, an interest, a memory, whatever it is, a story, whatever it is. Just notice how it carries you from this straight line to more of this winding road. Because we are more than just a computer computing. There is so much we hold inside of us. Soften through the right shoulder. And if the body allows you, put the elbows, leave the elbows up, press into the hands, pull the chest forward, and just stretch a little bit more through the upper back. Walk the hands towards your hips, lift, face the front of your hips. Bring the right heel into the left groin, bring the left foot in front of the right ankle. Start facing forward, and notice how that left hip again wants to go and crank it down. So that nice and tall, bringing your heart towards the front of the body a little more. And just feel the difference between the left hip and the right hip right now. You've got this left hip on a nice internal rotation. The right hip, I want you to notice, is an external rotation. And just feel what's most comfortable for you. And then once the body's okay, everything's softened enough, you can tense, or you can feel the tensity kind of coming from like a 10 down to a 0. You're going to bring that right elbow around the left knee, left hand behind your hip. No cranking, just turning. Turning your attention to the left. Turning your attention towards the left hand, the left shoulder, the left upper back, the left side of your neck, your left cheek, now your breath. As you inhale, you lengthen. And as you exhale, you just notice the turn becomes easier. As you begin to give space to the left side of your body. Space to breathe. Two more breaths. And then coming back to the middle, face forward. Come back to diamond posture, or Bakasana. Sit up nice and tall, hands on the shins, and stay heavy through your hips. Okay, we're gonna take 3 breaths here. Stay soft in your belly. Stay aware in your spine. Notice the expression in your face. Good, open your eyes if they're closed. Bring the right knee on top of the left knee. Gomukhasana. So if Gomukhasana is too much, you're just gonna cross your legs with the right knee in front. Otherwise, right knee on top, left foot out to the side. Okay, so we're gonna again, try to coach that right hip to soften. So eventually, initially I should say, the right butt cheek comes up. Try not to let it. Yeah. And then once you arrive in your seat, close your eyes again and just take a few breaths. Then I'd like you to place your left hand down beside your left hip. Lift your right arm up. Lean into the left side of the body and look up towards the ceiling. Just feel a nice big opening through the right side of the body. Just enough to bring some attention, to switch gears from the left side to the right side. Feel the ribs spreading out. And feel your breath taking enough space to allow it to spread out. Then take the right hand to your lower back. Soften through the right shoulder. Right hand to the lower back. And see if you can turn a little bit more now. But now you're just coaxing the right shoulder back. Notice the left elbow, the left shoulder. You can even rest your left ear on the left shoulder if you want. Good. And then push into the left hand, come all the way up. Extend the legs out in front of you. And just give them a quick shake. And we're going to repeat that on the left side. So left knee goes on top or crisscross left leg in front. Feet in line with the knees if that's possible. And then just kind of settle into your posture, settle into the left hip. Try to get the left hip or glute on the ground. Good. Notice the difference between the left and the right side. Just be patient. Eventually they will equalize and balance out. Close your eyes. Hands can go on the ground beside your hips and just take a few mindful breaths. Not striving, not doing, just being present to what comes up. Your own unique place. Right palm on the ground now, left arm up to the sky, reaching over to the right. Be soft with the right elbow, right shoulder. You may have to kind of gently give it attention to say it's okay, soften. And then let the breath and the body meet somewhere on the left side. You can experiment with the rotation of the left ribs. And when it's ready, left palm to the lower back. Left shoulder rolls back and down the spine. Experiment with the turning of the head or maybe the right ear to the shoulder. Just create this unique experience, this unique seat for yourself to be present. Good. And then press into the right hand, come all the way back up to seat. You're going to bring the left leg on top of the right and come onto the right hip. Roll to that right side. Stay high on your right elbow, so your right forearm is down. And then I just simply want you to bring the left leg or the top leg forward. Just kick it straight. Yep. And you're going to use the height of the right forearm to make it more accessible for you to grab your bottom foot or your right foot with your left hand. And just stay there for a second. Sink into this elbow, into this hip. Maybe turn your body slightly over to the left. And just take a few breaths here just to catch up. Notice if the right knee is slightly ahead of the hip, or if it's in line with the hip, or even behind the hip. Do whatever's most comfortable. And then notice how you can manipulate the sensation in the leg for your own unique experience, again, by maybe bringing the heel closer to the glute, or pushing the foot into the hand pulling into the foot. And just kind of play with that, and just see wherever you land, and then take a few breaths wherever you settle, but settle somewhere. Settle for something that brings stillness and mindfulness. Good. And then still hold on to the foot with the left hand. And then effortlessly as possible, lower down to the floor. Right arm extends out wide. And then just rotate the upper back so that you bring your eyes to the sky. And if you'd like to close when you land, do that. And then I'd like you to take a few more breaths with that. Just staying connected to the foot. If you can't connect, that's okay. And just allow for this gentle awareness into the ribs and how the breath affects the body. Be soft. Let space occupy the parts in the body that sometimes go unnoticed. You can stay here if you're comfortable in this posture, or the right hand can now grab the left big toe. And again, you're going to find your own unique experience here. You can either pull the left leg deeper into the hip socket to find more center. You can pull that left leg or top leg higher towards the right shoulder to find more stretch. Or you can find opposing directions with the foot and the leg bound, or the top leg and the bottom leg, to expand even more. Wherever you go, settle somewhere and take a few more breaths. And then release both feet, open arms like a T, pause. Take a full breath in to let the chest rise and a full breath out to settle. Bend the top leg so that both knees are stacked to the right. Make yourself comfortable. Soften through all 10 fingers. Then lift the knees towards the center and lie on your back. Straighten the back out. Extend the legs out into Shavasana. Just for a moment, just to feel the difference now of the body. You may feel as if someone just massaged with these magic fingers all over you. There's just this settling softness radiating from the center outward of every part of your body. Again, come to the expression in the shape of your face. Fill up your heart space with breath. In gratitude for the breath now. And the simplicity of gratitude of the breath. Then bend both of your knees again. And we're going to roll to the left hip. Roll onto the left side of your body. You're going to come onto the left forearm now. Stay nice and high. Adjust your height. And then you're going to send the top leg straight. The top leg, the right leg straight ahead of you. Then take the right hand and find the left leg. So not overexerting. Align that shoulder, the elbow kind of under the shoulder, maybe a little bit further away or outward from the shoulder. And begin to bring some attention now to the left knee, the left side of the body. Notice where the left knee is now. Don't change it, just notice it. Don't shift yet. And then see if you can soften through the right shoulder. Soften through the breath to bring that awareness. You may notice the body settling, the breath settling, the nervous system settling. And that the left knee maybe now wants to go back a little bit. It doesn't have to, but just notice if it wants to. And then again, pausing. You can stay heavy. We're not trying to push into the left side this time. We're just staying heavy, leaning into the left arm, leaning into the left side of the body. Big breath. Beginning and encouraging the right shoulder to go down a little bit more until when the body, the upper body, is ready to lay down to the floor. The left arm opens up like a T. The right shoulder opens up. Stay bound to the foot. Turn the chest open to the ceiling. Turn the eyes up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, and then settle again. Settle through the phases of the body as it uncoils. Maybe let out a few sighs of breath, of softness and allowing, of letting go of the grip, maybe of the right knee. Maybe it's a thought pattern. Once you feel the right shoulder softening, the left shoulder expanding, maybe the left hand wants to grip on the right toe. Maybe not. And then again, open. Open in a way that you feel you're pulling in opposing directions, or maybe in a way that you pull the right leg into the hip a little deeper to find center. And just manipulate the sensation that you'd like to meet, to face, to mimic. And notice how at first there's resistance into the new expression, but then as you soften, you allow it. There's not as much resistance. You make peace with it. A few more breaths to make peace, to simplify and focus on the breath. With the next exhale, let go of the feet. Arms open like a T, right knee stacks over the left knee to the left, and there's a simple twist. Spine lengthens, right shoulder softens. Fingers relaxed, toes relaxed. Lower back relaxed. Mind relaxed. Then please bring those knees up to lay on your spine. Adjust as needed. Keep the knees bent for a few moments. Settle into the posture. Feel the sensation in your body. Is it heavy or light? Just notice. Then heel toe the feet out wide and let the knees collapse towards one another. Adjust as needed to find softening again. Be it length or toes or head or shoulders. And then once you find that allowance, welcome in again the experience. The experience of surrender. And then just for the next few breaths, I'd like you to release any judgment from the body, any judgment from the mind. And try to just be completely still and restful. Come back to the sensation within the hips. Point the knees back up at the ceiling. And then bring the right foot into the left hand. Bring the right shin horizontal to the chest. And then just rock that right hip left and right. Rock the right hip left and right. And just begin to see how easy it is to say, oh, this is tight. or loose. Bring in that sensation of judgment again as you feel the left leg and the left hip pretty generally relaxed, right? And then find a place to rest with that right shin. And then bring the left knee behind the right ankle. Extend the left leg high. And use that left leg as leverage to bring that right hip into a deeper stretch. Hold on to the right foot with the left hand still. Take the right hand and reach for the left toe. Stay here. And just breathe. Gather information. Gather sensation. And breath. Good. Release the bind of the left foot and let the left leg go straight down to the floor. Take the right hand around the outside of the right foot and come into half happy baby. Open up the right foot to the ceiling. Let the left arm stay flat to the ground, palm up. Stay still here. And breathe into this right hip, this area that is yearning for your attention. Breathe softly but mindfully. Notice the sinking sensation of the right hip settling. Soften through the corners of the hips, the shoulders, and the eyes. And then place the right foot right on top of the left thigh. Settle the right hand right beside the hip. Let all the sensation dissipate. Then take the left hand on top of the side of the right thigh and gently rotate that right knee to the left. Assess the spine to allow for a more symmetrical, straight shape. And then turn your head towards the right shoulder. Allow yourself to arrive here gently, compassionately, and openly. Soften the left shoulder, the gripping of the left fingers, and see how the nervous system responds. Take 3 more breaths. And then inhale, release the left hand, lift the right knee, place the foot on the floor. Bend the left knee, place it on the floor. Adjust the hips, the shoulders, and the head. Take a breath here to deflate once again. Then lift the left foot into the right hand. Take the left hand to the left knee, hold the left shin horizontal to the chest. And then gently rock the left hip, left and right. Notice how now that you know where you're going, there's not as much anticipation. It's not as exciting maybe or challenging because you know what's to come. And you're going to arrive with ease. Go ahead and pause the movement. Take the left hand to the outer left foot. Right hand out by your side and just come into a half happy baby. Extend the right leg straight. Settle the right heel on the ground. Close your eyes, soften your shoulder. Release judgment, calculation. Just be here. Be here in this posture, in this settling, in this softening of no judgment. Just hold on to that left foot with ease. Bring that left shin back to the center of the body. Lift the right leg all the way up so that the right quad is in front of the left ankle. Hold on to the left foot with the right hand. Reach up for the right foot with the left hand. Encourage that hip to stretch a little deeper. And just pause once again. Using any amount of pressure that feels comfortable and soothing. Notice how the back of the right hip feels, the right calf, the left thigh and left hip, left shoulder and neck. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, release the right big toe, left hand to the ground, right foot to the ground. Left foot on top of the right thigh. Take the right hand to the outer left hip and bring the left knee over towards the right. Adjust the spine in a way that supports the movement that you would like to open through. Soften the left shoulder, soften the eyes. Welcome the breath and the space within the breath. Notice the breath within the space. Notice the contrast of the different sides. Good. And then gently release that twist. The hands open up like a T. Knees rest for a moment. And then bring them up to center. Adjust the hips. Adjust the feet. And neutralize the top of your body. Neutralize the center of your body and the back of your body. Bring both knees in towards your chest. And just create the space in the lower back. Maybe allow the knees to go a little wider or closer together. Just find intuitively what feels the best in your body to create space in the spine, in the shoulders, and through the neck. And then go ahead and bring the knees together if they were separate. Bring the feet flat to the ground. Reach the hands down to the mat, palms flat. Press into the bottoms of the feet to lift the hips up. Stop about halfway up, just enough. Enough to just feel the upper back still on the ground. Take a few breaths here. And feel the front of the body fill up with breath, with air, with space. And then lift up another inch higher until you start to feel a little bit more compression on the back of your head. And then a little bit higher. Now breathe into the back side of the body. Come into your natural position now of this back bend. a reference point of expanding the front of the body, although there is so much strength to do so in the back of the body. Can you stay soft, although you're lifting up towards the ceiling? Can you stay soft, although there are demands being met now within the muscles? It's all relative. It's all how you hold yourself. Now press more weight into the thumbs and the index finger. Press more weight into the big toes and second toe. Notice how that small change shifts things. Take a few more breaths. Lower down halfway. Take a breath. Lower down all the way and completely exhale. Land softly. Extend both legs out straight and extend both arms over your head, palms up. Hook your thumbs together. And then walk both heels over to the right corner of your yoga mat. Walk both shoulders over to the right corner of your upper yoga mat. And just feel a nice sensation and opening through the left. Let your right side of your face soften towards the right shoulder. Relax the right fingers. Staying here for a few breaths to settle. Settle through the right hip and the left hip. To peel open the layers that hold us together on these outsides of the body, this generally tight side of the body. You can stay as you are or lift the left ankle over the right ankle. And notice how that small little shift may change how you feel completely. Notice how these small, tiny shifts make you change completely. How is that relative into the way that we are living in harmony or not in harmony right now? How do you identify with things and how do you breathe or not breathe through them? How can you affect your judgment by doing small changes to create a completely different picture? If your ankles are crossed, lift the left over the right, relax it. Walk your heels back through center. Unhook your thumbs and rest your hands down by your side. Take 3 mindful breaths. Bring sensation back into the heels. Lift your arms over your head, palms up. Walk both heels to the left corner of the bottom of your mat. Keep your right hip heavy, keep your left hip heavy. Walk both shoulders over to the left corner of the upper mat and hook your thumbs. Turn the left cheek to the left shoulder and rest. Rest into the breath of breathing into the right side of the body. Soften the fingers. And if you'd like, you can now lift the right ankle over the left. And again, just notice these small, tiny changes have a huge, profound effect all the way up through the right shoulder. Feel the space you're creating in the side of the body. How it relieves tension in the whole body. The whole body responds. And then relax the right ankle off of the left. Walk both heels over to center. Release the thumbs. And release the upper body in line with the feet again. Adjust the spine, bring the hands down by the waist. Palms up. Take 3 yogi breaths, deep and low. Explore your breath. Explore your whole body. The sensation, the deflation of the whole body. It almost seems that it's almost miraculous on how just a short period ago when we began, how different we felt. How relatively short period of time can unwind so much. Bend the knees again, please. And bring them in towards your chest. I'd like you to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. And then bring the knees more towards the armpits. Press your tailbone down, and then just gently rock left and right. Just bringing a little bit of sensation into the top of the right and left hips. And then find slowing down, settle your tailbone, settle the shoulders. You can stay just like this in a modification, or you can take the right knee in front of the left knee and hold on to your shins. Stay here, reaping the benefits of the right hip loosening, or you can grab your big toes. And then I'd like you to stay still. And notice this inner awareness of the center of your body, your inner thighs squeezing together, your core, your arms, and the center of your face. Good. Release the big toes. Bring the feet back down to the ground and uncross the right leg off of the left. Take a few breaths here. Deflate, exhale, maybe sigh. Cross the left ankle over the right. Lift the knees up to the chest. Hold on to the shins and encourage the knees to go wide. Feel the tailbone, the pelvic, all encouraging the width, the space to occupy the ground, to be held and lean into the ground. Again, you can stay here, or left knee over the right knee. Grab your shins. Settle, or grab your toes. Find stillness. Stay with this sensation. Try not to move. Instead, try to bear with it. Find center of the inner thighs, of the ribs, of the shoulders, of the face. Release the big toes. Send the feet down. And come into Supine Bakasana or cobble pose, knees out wide. Palms face the ceiling, shoulders draw softly towards the ground. Let any sensation of that internal awareness or that center feeling of gripping relax. And then expand the left leg straight out to the left corner of the mat and the right leg out to the right corner of the mat. Allow yourself to completely melt into the ground into our final resting posture of Shavasana. Allow your eyes to soften even more. To be present for the experience that you're going to take for the next 3 minutes of an inward journey of your practice into this healthy state of being, this grateful state of being. Feeling the remnants of your practice, helping to soften you everywhere on the body. Feeling the remnants of the practice in gratitude, filling up your heart space, resulting in a very calming experience now that transports you from doing to being. A place that has brought you here on your own unique experience as a unique person. Feel how the relationship of your mind, your body, and your breath have a true impact on how you feel at the end of a yoga practice. How it's much different than when you lay to bed at night to go to sleep. It resonates a little differently in a way that can't easily be expressed in words because it is simply felt. It is simply intuitive because it's your own human experience. Thank your body for your practice. Thank your mind for participating the best it could. And thank your breath. I thank all of you. Slowly begin to bring some movement to the legs, the arms, with much more compassion and softness. Maybe realizing something just then that you did not realize you needed before. And gently roll to the right side of your body. Lifting up now to a seated posture, how we began. Hands resting somewhere on the body. Notice again with the eyes closed, the expression on your face as a result of your practice and inner peace. Namaste.